It's the time to get down.
Well, but could you turn them loose with a? Just think about how dangerous it is.
Yes.
For you to turn that child loose with a car.
Right.
At 16.
And right.
Now they have the capacity to kill other folks.
Right. So when was the last time a child of 16 sailing around the world died?
Not long. When was the last time a child of 16 killed somebody with a car? About 2 minutes ago.
See, it's all relative.
About 2 minutes ago.
Right. See, so the part that I go in, I say, at what point do you make this one more prevalent than anything else? You know why? Adults envision, especially as they get older. You know, Mario, you're so funny. When you're younger and you play in the ocean, you don't think you're going to ever drown. As you get older, all of a sudden, as you get older, you start thinking of all the situations you can drown.
Man, when you get older, you think about the people who drown in the bathtub.
Right.
I ain't lying. You know, people drown, and Vic, you just said it. The world, depending on what you do for a living, you can come to the impression that the world's a deadly place.
Right. It is.
People are dying.
Right.
All right. So we're not sure.
Yeah.
I want to say hi to the chat room, folks. You know, one thing about PackStero.tv, we have the best fans, the most wonderful fans in the world, the most patient and understanding.
Yeah.
That's because many of them are going to be broadcasters themselves, and they know it.
Right.
They know I'm recruiting them. But, I want to say hi to all our folks in the chat room, all the regulars out there that we have that tune in for the show. I wonder what people are thinking about this. First of all, is it okay for someone else to let their 16-year-old do it?
Yeah.
Maybe.
Well, hey, look.
Maybe. I don't know.
Nobody got up in arms. You know, it's so funny. When they was talking about something I asked you about the other day, I actually just said, man, you hear about the Taliban executing the 7-year-old?
Well,
yeah, and I said, okay.
You know what? And here's the thing. It's terrible, but you know what I tell everybody? In every war, children get killed.
That's right.
And not just a few.
Right.
And not just by accident either.
Right. So which story which story grabs you more? That the sake that we're questioning where the adults should turn around and say, hey, don't let her sail around the world, or the child of 7 years of age being executed?
Well, they're all sorry, terrible things.
Yeah.
I told people, just like I explained, that when we bombed the water treatment facilities in Iraq, I said the people who ended up dying as a result of that were all women and children who died of dysentery. So I say you could argue which one's more direct. I said you do certain policies knowing when Gaza puts an embargo, when the Israelis put an embargo against the Gaza Strip, they know they're hurting civilians.
That's right.
They did it on purpose to specifically punish them for electing Hamas.
Collateral damage,
that's
we call it.
So that's all about that. All right. Now, how about this one? In Chicago, the Supreme Court cleared a path to overturn the city's ban on handguns. Chicago had a ban that was considered among the toughest in the whole United States. And now someone took it to the Supreme Court, and as it turned out, the Supreme Court cleared a path to overturn it. It's a question of whether or not it's legal. So, wow. And this is particularly relevant today because of late we've been showing these videos about these kids getting involved in these violent acts. Like, for example, there was a video that we showed that was on YouTube.
Right.
That showed a young person basically getting mugged and shot.
Right.
And so this is bad. Let's put it like this. They say Chicago's homicide rate is lower than it was at the height of gang wars, okay? But it's slightly ahead of last year's pace, and gun violence remains a prominent problem. Wow. The homicide rate in New York City is 1/3 of that of Chicago's. Wow. And the rate in Los Angeles is only 2/3 of Chicago's.
Right.
They got a higher death rate than L.A.?
Well, wait a minute.
This is the home that made the freeway shooter.
Right.
We made we made certain things famous. Up in here in California.
I agree.
But so they have more killings in Chicago than us?
Yeah, but don't the major cities just kind of rotate over the years who has the highest most of the time? It's the same.
Some of the major ones like New York, D.C., L.A. But D.C. also has that. Remember Gilbert Arenas got caught up in that zero tolerance D.C.
Right. And wait, let me ask you something. Do you think that's effective, zero tolerance?
Well, what they're saying is, I don't know. But I don't know if just saying that and doing that is one thing. You put more people in jail. The argument is that ultimately it will be, but that's not been proven so far.
Right.
What's been proven is just actually to do better things and build up the community.
Right.
Like, increase jobs, better schools.
Right.
Those things all decrease crime, even though people hate to admit it.
Yeah.
Well, that's the whole thing because, many of the people who are running for office in Chicago have staked their political careers on this. You have the mayor. Is it the son of Daley? Is he the son or it's got to be the son of former Mayor Daley, who's now the mayor there.
Okay.
The other Daley. And so a lot of people have really staked their political careers on this.
Yeah. Yeah, it's going to be difficult.
All right, so we don't know.
Yeah.
What is your gun ban in your city? Do you have a gun ban? And if so, are you going around strapped? In L.A., you think about it.
Well, let me say this, Mario. New York, it's our largest metropolitan area as far as population, and they're behind on the top list as far as the gun issues, as far as it having crime related to it.
Yeah.
So is the no tolerance working?
Well, I don't. Well, see, at first when you declare no tolerance, you just have a bunch of people out there paranoid because you have no tolerance.
That's right.
Then you have a time you put a bunch of people in jail. And after that, then you see if that acts as a deterrent for the next. You got to wait like 2 or 3 generations, not necessarily full generations of birth, but it takes a while to see the impact, right?
Right.
So I don't know if it works, and it would be. We are curious because, we might have zero tolerance here.
Yeah.
All right. Well, how about this with you guys? Anybody out there amongst our fans really fascinated with the whole Twilight phenomenon?
Oh yeah, man. I'm, this is taking me back to Halloween 3. Man,
this is one of those moments where I don't wish I was youthful, because just think, if you're a young man somewhere, you're being forced to sit there and watch Twilight episodes with your girl.
But you tolerate
just to prove it.
And then after
the only reason you're tolerating because you're trying to unsnap her bra.
And you
all the way through the movie.
And you didn't do that back in the Halloween
I'm just
days.
saying, because the Twilight, take a look, because of the Twilight thing.
You did it. You know you did. You know you was there. Don't even try it.
Take a look. I was there too, I must admit. That's why some things you don't want to go back. I don't want to go back to the uneasy small talk that it once took me to get laid.
Right.
Now, I like the cooler talk that I do when I'm older now.
Well, you don't count anymore.
Not the uneasy small talk.
You don't count anymore.
Hi.
No, you don't count.
I know.
You don't count.
And you can see it when they're texting you. I'm going to text you.
Right.
Okay.
That's right.
Okay.
Remember, it's good days, man.
Well, Twilight now, they look like they're going to make about $150 million over the 6-day opening. Wow.
Wow, man.
That's right. That's right. They're doing that.
I like that. Hey, when you're around a certain age, Mario, isn't there a couple of things you only want to do when you're getting to know women?
Sex, and more sex.
And before the sex, if not before,
deep tongue kissing.
Yeah, but not before.
French kissing. Remember when you used to want a French kiss?
Is that
sharing those secretions?
Is that?
I remember how. That's one thing about these movies like Twilight, Eclipse. It reminds you of your early dating years.
Yeah.
You remember how absolutely disgusting your first French kiss was? Maybe not for you, but
I remember.
The girl had been eating sunflower seeds.
That's all
That's
right.
pretty disgusting, isn't it?
Hey, wait a minute. That's cold.
Let's share
Cold.
first French kiss horrors.
Hey, that's cold, man.
How about you, Vic?
My first was a girl who liked me, and I of course didn't like, and the friend paid me $25 because she said she wanted to kiss me, and I get a Hot Wheel.
That's pretty good. You get the Hot Wheel?
I got the Hot Wheel.
How was the kiss?
It was unbelievable because, I was so used to having Cheerios and milk on my tongue and not necessarily somebody else's. So I did have moments.
It's a little much, when you first do it.